me fix my camera. Ooh, wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. All right, what's going on, you guys? What's going on? What's going on? This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for the part three Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17 reunion. What is going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Sunday, and I intend on doing the same exact thing. Although we've got to the end of the road. Feels I can't let go. It's unnatural. You belong to me. I belong to you. Girl, I'm here for you. All them times and nights you just heard me, it just ran out with that other fella. Baby, I knew about it. I just didn't care. You just don't understand how much I love you, do you? I'm here for you. I'm not the one to go out and cheat on night. Just like you, baby, but that's all right. I love you anyway. And I still love you until my dying day, baby. But now, I'm in so much pain because you just won't come back to me. Will you? Just come back to me. What? No way. Woo! Y'all don't understand. Happy days, honey. Happy days. Listen, happy days. I am listening. As much as I enjoyed this goddamn season, I'm so glad that it's over. Do you hear me? I am so glad that this shit is over. I can have my timeline back. I ain't got to fight for my life every damn week. I am glad that this is over. But the only thing that I hate when when these seasons of Housewives is over is that we have to take a break from the whether you like it or not panel. But sometimes we need that break from the panel as well so we can like re-energize and shit like that. Because for me, I've really had I I haven't had as much fun doing a panel this time than I did before. But it ain't got nothing to do with my panelists though, with my panel mates. I don't like to say my panelists because it's a panel that we all are a part of. But it's only because I had been dealing with stuff in the midst of me being on that panel, but that ain't so I would come across real harsh and shit. So I kind of took some time to reflect on that, and I was just watching like sometimes I take a look at some of the older panels that we did this year. Like every time we come to the end, I always watch like go through like a marathon of like the old panels. I'm like, damn, I came across harsher. Damn, I was so passionate. Damn, I was in my feelings that day. So, it's just all a part of what I said before, as far as me like having more fun doing these reviews and having more fun doing the panel as I did before. Not being so serious and so passionate over some goddamn reality TV stars. But the passion is probably gonna always be there because I'm always passionate about the things that I say and the things that I feel anyway. So that passion is probably always gonna be there, but it's a way to bring your passion to the forefront so it doesn't come across overbearing or some shit like that. So you know it's that's the thing. So but coming, especially with Love and Marriage Huntsville coming back and stuff like that, I just want to have fun reviewing again. You know what I'm saying? Like I really do. Let me see. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know why I'm low. I'll turn it up some. What about now? I turned it up some. I don't know. Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. But yes, I just want to go back into having fun doing this. And I'm going to have fun doing this review tonight, as a matter of fact. I'm absolutely am, okay? However, we're about to go ahead and get into it. We're already at the 5 minute mark already. So what I'm going to do right now is, of course, put the spotlight on my moderators real quick before we get started. Who's all up in here? I see the Jail Slayer. I see Kendra. I see Feisty. I see Norris. Brandon, Parker Boy, um, you know what I mean? I think that's about it. I think that's it for everybody. I think that's all the moderators that I see right now. So we're about to go ahead and get into this review, but before we do, I gotta play this one last time.
I know some of you motherfuckers, when it come to this goddamn Real Housewives review, act like you know these bitches. But let me tell you one thing: we not gonna do that this season. You will get motherfucking blocked with the realness. You can have your opinion about these hoes, but don't come at me about mine. It's a fucking opinion about some bitches that you or I don't fucking know. The only difference is I'm getting paid to do this review. You ain't. So mind your motherfucking marbles, bitches, because some of you hoes, when it come to these Real Housewives, are fucking psycho. Just getting that shit out in the open before we even start this season, because I have never reviewed a show where bitches is more fucking retarded over some bitches that they don't fucking know in my life.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into this review. I got my notes right here, so let's get involved. All right, so we start off with the K Michelle and Drew of it all. And she says that she starts explaining how she knew or did not know Black. So K Michelle was pretty much saying that she had heard, about Black, or someone said that she knew Black, and she went into the DMs and just said, "Oh, there he is talking to himself. Okay, I know who he is," and blah 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 blah. I said, "Hey, handsome to him. We did a play together, whatever." So then she had said that she had been hearing around Atlanta that her and Drew pretty much dated the same man. So that's why when Drew came to her saying, "That's your friend," it was like, "Well, why are you trying to link him to me?" And then, when I saw him over the FaceTime, of course I'm going to speak to him or whatever, because we're familiar with one another. So I'm not going to act like I don't know him. But, I didn't know him like that, right? So here's my thing, though, okay? Even if that is the case, or even if it was the case, even if that's what it is, right? Why did you even give Drew that reaction though? Like, it's honestly the way you're describing it, you're saying that there was people in the city saying that you and Black was messing around or whatever it was that y'all were doing. But for me, it's like, okay, even if that was the case, why give Drew that energy as if she's the one going around saying that y'all messing with the same man? Like, all you had to do was pretty much, and then on top of that, even if that's the case, you the one who brought it to the forefront that Black was in your DMs, and he been trying to talk to you and all that other stuff. So to me, if you really didn't want nothing, if you really didn't want to be linked to that man in any kind of way at all, you could have just not even mentioned the fact that he had been in your DMs instead of making this whole thing a big to do all motherfucking season, to the point to where it's confusing to you, everybody involved. So for me, it's like, okay, you got to make it make sense. And I guess you're trying to make it make sense right now. But even now that you're explaining it, if you would have explained it like that back then, it would have been understood. But the fact is, you went at it the way that you did, and you came across like you were one of them people that was coming on this show looking to have a beef with Drew of all people, and it made you look like, I'm a bully, so I'm going to pick a fight with Drew because that's the easiest target to pick a fight with. That's the way it came across, and I feel like you saw the backlash, you saw how everybody responded to it, and even when you was in your interviews and you were basically saying, well, it's going to, y'all are going to see exactly why I don't like Drew. She tried to set me up, and she tried to do this, she tried to do that. So you said that we would understand by the end of the season, but we left the season with no understanding at all. So honestly, I like the way you're doing the reunion, or you're sitting into the reunion, but to me, it's like, okay, girl, this is like months too late, because the interviews didn't do you no justice and shit like that. So to me, you use this reunion to kind of start back over with a clean slate, and I ain't really mad at you for doing that. But in the same breath, it's kind of like, girl, like, you did all of that for nothing, pretty much. Like, this was really a non-issue. You didn't want to be with that man. Drew ain't even with that man, and you just created this whole situation when there was no situation to be created in the first place. So, Kay, yeah, you took a L on that one, like a big one. Like, you literally took a L on it and all that. So This is why when it come down to it, that's why I be laughing at the people who love to try to say that I'm biased when it come down to K Michelle, all because of the fact that I'm not hating on her like they are. I ain't got to hate her to call, to keep to hold her accountable for things. That's why I be laughing my ass off at some of y'all because you're biased to K, you're biased, all because I'm not dragging her. Girl, bye. That's why I was never like on her side with the Drew beef because it didn't make any sense to me. Like if I'm gonna be on your side about something, then it has to make sense. And this never made sense to me. It never made sense to me. So at the end of the day, yeah, Kay gotta just take that L and just move the fuck on with that one because girl, like what the fuck were you thinking about and what the fuck are you doing? You feel what I'm saying? Because that just didn't make any motherfucking sense at all. It just didn't make any sense. Um, but yeah, let me yeah, no, never mind. I ain't gonna worry about it. Let me see. Let me look at the comments. It says, "Thank you, Scotty. I agree, and I've noticed that when it comes to friendship groups, especially women, there's always going to be someone who's deemed as the easy target, and that someone is Drew. And let me tell y'all something. I'm not here. I'm not on the whole Drew is a victim bandwagon either, because she really ain't no victim. Because Drew be doing shit too that's like gaslighting in my opinion. There's certain things that I've noticed that she does that's very gaslighting. Like she be doing shit, be playing in people's face sometimes. But a lot of the time, people do be coming at her for no motherfucking reason. Like I'm not even gonna act like they don't, cause they do. Um, let me see. Um, so then she was asked why why did she feel like the oyster comment was for her? She had heard about the situation where she had been told that people were gonna bring up that whole older stuff, that older rumor about her, and she was sitting at the table, and there's Portia with the "this vagina's clean" or "this is kind of rank," and then they're on the bus, and Drew says, "Okay, you should fry fish." So it's like, as crazy as that sounds, I can be in over my head as well. That's why I really wasn't mad with her at that moment for even thinking that. But at the same time, you got to let things play out. And what you did do was make it crazy for yourself because those older rumors have been put to rest a long time ago and nobody was talking about that shit anymore until you said something about it on the Real Housewives of Atlanta and you made it a conversation piece all over again when it didn't even have to be no damn conversation piece. It didn't even have to be that. You made it a conversation piece. You know, we're nobody talking about that older shit. And again, I've been in Kay's presence. I never smelt a seafood market when I was around her. Never ever smelt it. Never smelt a seafood market. And I have been around women that got that scent. But I never smelled her in that way when I was around her. And that was back when they were saying the shit about her. So the thing was, I just I just felt like, you pretty much shedded a light on that because you know what I'm saying. It's kind of like when nobody talking about that up until you brought it up on the show. Then it got in the blogs and people started talking about it again. People started talking about it again. For a couple of weeks they was talking about it again, and of course they was talking about it at this point because now you're deeming yourself to be unlikable. You know what I mean? Deeming yourself to be unlikable in this moment. So that's why they were going with it. So it is what it is. But also her ex Nosh also said that she never had like a scent to her. He said that in the interview. So I ain't the only one that can confirm that. I've been around her, so I ain't never smelt her. That's just what it is. So um let me see where we at. Ooh, sorry, excuse me. Um Angela says that she feels K Michelle wholeheartedly because she was in K Michelle's seat last year, where she felt like the girls were against her. She said with the Phaedra thing and the Portia thing and how she was trying to make that shit fit into the whole. You know what I'm saying? She was there. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So yeah, She said, I am K Michelle and K Michelle is me. And that could be why Angela took a liking to K Michelle. I really wish that we would have seen that little dinner that they had and was all in a, they made that a flashback. You know what's really pissing me off with the Housewives of Atlanta is the fact that y'all are really taking away the scenes that would really make sense. Because we've seen a lot of unseen footage this reunion that should have been in the show and it would have made a whole lot of sense to a lot of us, especially me. Because some of this unseen footage is definitely making me look at things in a different way, just in a sense. You feel what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Drew says that she now understands K Michelle. She understands her perspective on things. K Michelle and Portia made up pretty much. Like, you know, they had a sisterly argument, and Portia said she's always been a K Michelle fan, so all she really wanted was to be cool with her. Now, I can say this about Portia: she's always been a K Michelle fan. K Michelle has always spoken great about Portia in public. I've heard her say she loves Portia. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why it was kind of weird when they were going back and forth, or you know, when this whole thing with K Michelle and Portia even came about, because I always seen them to be cool. You feel what I'm saying? And I actually wanted them to be cool coming into this situation. As much as I don't see it for Portia, I actually wanted them to be cool. I feel like they would be good as friends. But then again, they might be good as frenemies. I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know. So Shamia confronts Portia about saying that K Michelle picked the wrong team comment on Carlos King interview or whatever. And she said that she felt like it's crazy how people were trying to say that I'm building alliances, but with her being in her interview saying that K Michelle would realize that she picked the wrong team by the end of the show. You know what I mean? That make it seem like she's the one that's putting teams in the air. She had a point there. Cause what the fuck do you mean you riding with the wrong team? You feel what I'm saying? It seems it does come across like you're trying to say that you on the wrong team. You should have been on my side or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I did understand what Shamia was saying, because as much as people like to say that there was an alliance with K Michelle, Shamia, Pinky, and Kelly, I could say the same thing about that other couch. It was an alliance over there too. And she said, you're talking about this group, so y'all are grouped up. This is what I don't like. It's situations where y'all know y'all move as a group. Y'all know y'all move as a group. Y'all know y'all move like y'all in vogue or some fucking body. But then y'all want to deny it when somebody else calls it out. It's, you know, it's crazy because y'all, they can't be real friends. You know, you want to say that Kay, Shamia, Pinky, and Kelly, they can't be real friends. They in an alliance. But you motherfuckers over here, y'all real girlfriends and shit like that. Half you motherfuckers didn't even like each other last season. Portia didn't like Angela. Angela didn't like Portia. Portia was dragging the shit out of Drew. Phaedra was dragging Drew and Angela. Now all four of y'all are good sisterings and shit like that, but everybody else in the goddamn alliance. Like, that's the thing that kills me. Like, let's stop being hypocritical. You got a team, you got a team. Team A, team B. If everybody could just own up to the fact that they are in a team, I would be very understanding, as Escape says. But I can't be, because it's too much hypocrisy going on, and I'm gonna always be the one to call it out, even if don't nobody want me to. So it is what it is. So if anything, they're in an alliance just as well as they are. Shamia says it's easy for her to be the fall guy, but they have done a lot of things as well. To be honest, I agree with Shamia on there too. It's easy to make her the fall guy, but then ignore what everybody else's situations are. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't the only one that was in some drama, and she wasn't the only one keeping up shit. But hey, K Michelle and Drew, they made up or whatever. So I guess we are done with this beef or non-beef or ground turkey situation that's going on with K Michelle and Drew. I really feel like that's over. Someone asked, how does Kelly feel about how does Kelly feel about, you know, being a rebound friend. Kelly says that she's not a rebound friend. She feels like her and Shamia have created a bond, a real friendship. I don't think that Kelly is a rebound friend either, and I'm one of the few that really believes that Shamia and Kelly really do have a genuine friendship. I personally feel like they do have a genuine friendship. That's what I believe. I felt like that from the beginning, but everybody's so quick to call it fake. But I do think that Shamia and Kelly have a real friendship, just like I felt like Drew and Angela have a real friendship. You feel what I'm saying? Um, let's see. So then Kelly explains why she accepted Phaedra's help. I feel like in a sense Kelly kind of downplayed Phaedra's efforts to help her. I feel like she's terribly ungrateful because that she better be lucky that Phaedra did help her, because at the end of the day, ain't no other lawyer gonna give her no discounted rate with all the money issues you got. So to me, it's like, girl, you need to really pipe down and really see exactly what's going on here. Because as much as I don't fuck Phaedra, she didn't even have to do the shit that she was doing for you. To be honest, like she was really looking out for you, and for you to be sitting up here trying to act like she didn't really do shit, and I gave her team $10,000. I gave her team $10,000, and for me, it's like, girl, $10,000 really ain't a damn thing for what the fuck you got going on. It really ain't shit. It really ain't shit. And I'm not one to trust me. I'm not one to defend what's her name, Phaedra, on shit. I don't defend her on nothing. But when a motherfucker is literally being completely dismissive to the help that someone has given them, I find that to be very much so ridiculous, and I don't like it. And that's just me. I ain't with that shit. Like, Kelly, you broke as fuck, and you need to understand that you broke as fuck, and you need to understand that people are trying to help your ass. Like, I couldn't even be on your side when it came down to that one. You know what I mean? Like, be grateful that you got a Family Dollar rate for that damn for that damn what is it? For that represent. Okay? For real. And then Kelly said, no, Phaedra says, what she said? She said, you're sitting next to Pinky, and Pinky didn't give you no advice or do anything for you. And then Pinky said, yes, Pinky did. And then Kelly agreed that Pinky did give her help. We find out that Shamia's rum is not coming. It doesn't need to come. Where's your music? Where's the music? See, and this is what I mean by people not using this platform in the way that they need to use it. This is the reason why. Simply because of the fact that you dropped a song last year, right? A wonderful record at that. Never Had still gets played up in here, okay? Never Had is actually one of my top 10 songs that was most played on my replay list on Apple last year, right alongside Drew. Both of them was in my top 10. So Never Had was a bop. I don't care what nobody say. Never Had was a bop. Where's the album? You was working with RL from Next, and he's a great writer. Like, you had the advantages of having RL in your back pocket who could give you some great music. Where's the album? Drew put out her album. Where's your album? You was sitting up here dogging Drew and all this other shit, but Drew actually put out her album, and it actually did pretty well considering the fact that she's a Real Housewives of Atlanta artist. Okay? It did well for her. Why you ain't put out no album? You sitting up here trying to do rum. Like, girl, take this time out. This is what I mean. When you are given a platform, you need to use that platform and the likability that you have received from said platform to honestly do the things that you want to do, things that you probably wouldn't have been able to do if you didn't have the platform. Like, I want to see you put your music out. Do more acting auditions. Like, I want to see you in your acting bag. And you've been acting. Like, really do something with it, because it may be a little hard for you now because you don't have the support of the fans like you did before. Like, when you first started last year, you had overwhelming support from the fans. Everybody loved you at the beginning until the second half of the season. And if you would have kept going in the route that you were going, you probably would have made it through. But you didn't, and you fucked that up for your own self. But you need to do something like that rom shit. I just felt like that rom shit really wasn't nothing that you should have been trying to release or put out or anything like that. But dreams are real, and all you have to do is just believe. Okay. Okay. If she can put out a record, you can. Okay. Um. Let me see. Where we at? Where we at? Kelly speaks about her Sandy Springs location closing. She had just opened it, and about a day later, it was closed. So, the next thing you know, Drew was put on blast, about her IG video about mocking the closing of her restaurant. And Drew just won't admit to the fact that her ass was just being shady. Girl, just own it, girl. You were being shady as fuck. Like, that's just what it was. You were being shady. Just say that. I really, really wish that you would just own it. That's what I mean with Drew. Just say, don't say, I've always supported you. Girl, you ain't never supported that damn girl. You and Kelly ain't never really cared for each other like that. Like, we need to just stop playing with the people. You don't like that girl, she don't like you. You went to that girl's restaurant talking about you came there for some food when you know you didn't come there for no food. You know damn well you already knew that that lady restaurant was closed down anyway, and that's why you came there to try to embarrass her. That's exactly what the fuck you came in there to do. That is what I mean by Drew be gaslighting sometimes. She know what the fuck she be doing. Like, Drew, stop playing with the people. And the sad thing is, I really like Drew. You know, I told y'all I met Drew at the Boss Baby Awards about about 3 years ago. You feel what I'm saying? So she's a really nice girl. Like, I've always liked Drew. I've always rooted for Drew and stuff, and I still do. You feel what I'm saying? But girl, own that bullshit. Own it. Own it. You want to get your slab back for all the bullshit that Kelly had been talking, and rightfully so. So just own it. I would love it if people would just own a damn shade. Just own it. That's all I'm saying. Um, where we at? So we get into Kelly and Angela. They get into it again, and I must say that I am so over Angela constantly chirping and saying what she's saying. Is she just getting, like, I just think that for me, right? Because I know it's a lot of Fangelas in the building, but that lady irritates me. I'm not even gonna hold you. She irritates the fuck out of me, and that's partially why everything she does gets on my nerves. I think. I just feel like Angela is a person that got the support of the fans, so I feel like she kind of panders to them, and then she wants to be the Reed Queen so fucking bad, where she has Reeds on standby all the time. But you know, everybody gonna eat up whatever she says, and I think it has a lot to do with of the delivery of her reads, and I guess that's why they eat it up so much. But she just irritates me. I don't like Angela. I'm not really sure if the dislike is going to, what the fuck is this on my shirt? I don't even think that the dislike is gonna turn around for me. I don't think it is. But it just comes across like she just want to be seen. She want a moment. She want to be remembered for something and stuff like that. Like, girl, give me, like, I miss Masika. And I know Masika ain't on nobody's Housewives show, but I miss Masika. You hear what I'm saying? Like, I miss a girl like Masika who could read the fuck down without sounding like she's trying to read. Like, those reads would come out of Masika's mouth. um, but those reads would come out of Masika's mouth like it was nobody's business. Like no matter what, Masika would eat down every time she reads. Like, for real, for real. Like, I miss a girl like her. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I love me some Masika. I miss her on reality TV. I don't really too much care for her social media antics, but when she was on Love and Hip Hop, I really, really loved to see Masika in an argument with somebody. Okay? Like, nasal he, you know, all that other shit. I miss Masika. I'm sorry, y'all. Um, Let me see where we at. Um, Shamia explains why she and Kelly didn't go to the dinner. Um, because they couldn't wash they didn't have any clean, they couldn't take a shower, they couldn't do any of that, right? So, as Shamia is trying to explain the situation, Cynthia's trying to rush her to get her point across. And Cynthia is also someone that's getting on my nerves because it feels like she's doing the same thing that Angela's doing, looking for a moment, looking for a problem, looking for this. Like, let the girl say what she have to say. And this Cynthia in this particular moment reminds me of the Cynthia that was sitting there with Portia in season 7. You feel what I'm saying? Like season 7, Cynthia irked the shit out of me. Like no lie. And she's irking the shit out of me right now. Like, girl, please get the fuck out of here. Um, she said she spoke her mind about the dirty room situation. She apologized to Shamia and Kelly and all that other stuff, right? So then she says that she never had an issue with Shamia. But all season it looked like you did have an issue with Shamia. All season. So what the fuck you mean you never had an issue with her? You did. At least that's the way it came across to everybody else. It came across like you did have a motherfucking problem with her. That's the way it looked to me. Again, people not owning up to the fact that they got an issue with somebody and they're not owning the fact that they having an issue with somebody. Just say, I wasn't really fucking with her, after that dirty room situation or whatever. Because it did. To me, it did look like, Cynthia was really had it out for Shamia in a sense. Like it did. You know, she was dragging that whole thing. But then again, Shamia and Kelly, well, Kelly on the other hand was kind of dragging it too. Um, Shamia miscarried. Well, her surrogate miscarried, and to me, Portia, when they were talking about the miscarriage and stuff, and every K Michelle was giving Shamia words of encouragement, and then Drew seemed sympathetic. Kelly, Pinky, everybody seemed sympathetic, but and Cynthia even seemed sympathetic. But to me, Portia and Angela, they were not. I don't think that Portia's to the point to where when it comes down to Shamia, she just don't give a fuck. She don't really give a fuck. And to be honest, um, I kind of get that. I'm not even going to be mad at her about that. I just feel like when you don't fuck with someone, like whatever they go through, it really don't. I mean, because you're so far removed from the situation, it's kind of like, well, it really don't matter. You know what I mean? Like I don't really give a fuck. Like not to say that I don't really give a fuck about your issues, even if even if I do feel something, I don't give a fuck. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm not necessarily mad at it. I think that that's a more, you know, that's a real way to put it, because if you really want me to be honest, if I was in this predicament where I don't fuck with somebody and they're speaking on something that they're going through or something that's happened, I probably wouldn't have said anything either. I probably wouldn't have said nothing either. I probably would have stayed quiet and all that other stuff, because I feel like if I say something comforting, it's gonna come across fake. I don't like you. You did to me. So it's like it's too much has happened at this point. So it's like what, like, so I saw a lot of people saying, on Twitter about Portia not really giving her nothing in that moment or whatever, and she didn't give her anything. But I was watching it and I wasn't necessarily mad about it though, because I think that's just a real reaction. There's a lot of people that I no longer fuck with, and honestly, it may sound terrible, but once I don't fuck with you no more, like I don't give a fuck about you. I don't care about what happens to you. Not to say that I wish anything bad because I don't, but whatever's going on with you, it's no longer my concern. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a like fuck you, fuck your issues, fuck whatever you got going on. Cause at the end of the day, I'm over you. I'm over whatever comes with you. Fuck you. You know what I mean? So, and on top of that, I already don't like for shit to be about me anyway. So I'm not gonna speak on this and give you all this words from the Most High and all this other shit when I know that I don't care. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just, you feel what I'm saying? There's something wrong with being empathetic. I didn't say anything was wrong with being empathetic. What I'm saying is I wasn't too upset with Portia for not giving her anything in that moment. You know what I mean? Like in her head, she probably said, "Damn, that's fucked up." But it's like I don't fuck with you. So do you really expect? Do we really expect a person that don't fuck with us to really sympathize with anything that we got going on? Cause I never expect that from nobody. Like, to be honest, if you don't fuck with me, I don't want your sympathy because I'ma always think it's fake. I'ma always feel like it's fake. I'ma always feel like you're not being real. I'ma always feel like keep the same energy, don't give me shit. Keep the same energy. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I probably sound mean as fuck too, y'all. This probably sounds so mean because I'm really not a mean person. I'm not. Like I'm very sweet to most people. Like I am, but when you cross me and when I no longer fuck with you no more, it may not seem that way. Once I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. That's just what it is. So I wasn't really mad at that. Um, let me see. Angela explained the frustration with Amari and the wife. Come to find out, the wife lived with Angela, but the wife's mama didn't necessarily didn't necessarily accept Amari. So let me see, let me see. Scotty, what's your zodiac? I am an Aquarius with a Taurus moon and a Leo rising. Yes, that's me. Um. Oh, my mama's here. Y'all say hello to my mom. My mom is here. My mother is also a Cancer as well. My mother is July the 8th. I'm not going to say the year, but my mama is a Cancer as well. July 8th. That's my mother's birthday. So then she explains why she wanted her daughter to come out to her siblings. I remember when I'm not really mad. I'm not really mad at Angela for wanting Amari to come out to her siblings and stuff like that, because my mother actually. I remember when my mom asked me to come out to my brother, and I definitely wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it at all, but I'm glad that I did. Sometimes they just want you to be honest instead of hiding shit. So I definitely understood that. I wasn't really mad about it at all. Let me see. Where we at? So then they asked her, did she have an issue with Amari being gay? She said that Amari came out to her at 12 and she got her coming out cookies. And I thought that was pretty sweet, for her to come out. Coming out at 12 is a hard thing to do. Pinky and Angela both agree that they don't have no receipts. And Pinky didn't have no receipts on whether or not Charles likes Angela, and Angela didn't have no receipts about whether or not Pinky got a woman in the basement. So then Shamia says that she uh Oh my god. Hold on, y'all. Where we at? So then she said that she didn't expect to be in the center of all the drama. She felt that there were alliances. I ain't even gonna stay on the topic of alliances because you already know how that go. Shamia says that she damned if she do, damned if she's damned if she did or didn't. To be honest, I felt the same way with a lot of things that happened this season because to me, a lot of things would happen where if Shamia did it, it's an issue. But if Angela did it, no one would say anything. Like everybody calling Shamia out for being messy, but then Angela carries bones all over the group and no one says anything. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a damn if she do, damn if she didn't, and it was like a double standard with her. And regardless of anything, I still stand on the fact that there was double standards with Shamia in this group. I'm gonna stand and stick by that 100%. Um, Shamia's issues with Drew, they started talking about that. The issue with Drew started when Shamia decided to speak on Portia's behalf and ask her was she dating Dennis. She had no business doing that and had no business speaking for Portia because look at where she's at now. Not in Portia's good graces, and where's Drew? Right over there in Portia's good graces. So you did all this shit for no apparent reason. And now you looking crazy. Um Angela then accused Shamia of knowing the guy at Kelly's event. First you said Phaedra knew the guy. Then you said tried to imply that Kelly knew him. Now you saying Shamia knew him? Okay. Just because you take a picture with somebody don't mean you know them. Me and Bando was at Bulldogs last night, and somebody wanted a picture with us. Although I had just left Bulldogs, Bando had texted me telling me that a guy that was like a viewer of my platform who knew of Scotty by Nature TV and Bando, he wanted a picture with us and all this other shit. If I was there, I would have taken a picture with him. But that don't mean I know him. That don't mean I know him. You can take pictures with people all the time. That don't mean I know. I take pictures with people all the time if I see them. Like if I meet them somewhere, I take a picture with people. That don't mean I know you. You know what I mean? I might, they might be a supporter. I don't like to say fan. They might be a supporter of mine. Drew took a picture with me. She don't know me. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. So where are we at? Where we at? So then Shamia asked Angela to produce names, but she got a cease and desist on her, so she can't produce names. But I don't really think she had no names for real anyway, pulling shit out of her ass. Shamia says that she's tried to fit in the group. You just gotta walk and march to the beat of your own drum instead of trying to fit in with people. That's just really the basis of that. Portia claims that Shamia was talking about her behind her back. Um, so I do believe that there was some talk behind the backs of both of them. I'm just gonna go on and say it. Shamia and Portia are both to blame for where this friendship has landed them. You know what I mean? Like they're both to blame for it. Like it is what it is. Like Portia wasn't no friend to Shamia. Shamia, turned out to really not be the friend that, she thought she was either. Like both of them did some shit to each other, and both of them need to take accountability for the things that they have done to fuck up this friendship. Um, Portia refuses to talk about her mama. Portia refuses to talk about her daughter. Portia didn't explain the difference between last year and this year, but she says that she wasn't closed off to Shamia this year, and you were. I don't even know you why you sitting up here acting as if you weren't closed off to that girl because you was. Like you wouldn't even talk to her. She, like you wouldn't give her ass the time of motherfucking day, to be honest. Like you really wouldn't. Like you wouldn't even give her the time of day to do anything. Like to have a conversation, to do anything. Like you wasn't down to talk to her about shit. So I'm gonna need for you to stop acting as if you was just so down and willing and all this other shit, and you were not. Like you was not willing to make shit right with Shamia, and that's your choice. But don't act like you were though. Just be real. I just feel like motherfuckers just ain't being real, and that's just the basis of that. That's just how I feel. They're not being real. And they're not holding each other. They're not holding people accountable. And Portia was kind of like icing that girl out. And people could sit up here and act like she wasn't, but she was. Okay. Um, I think that by the end of this conversation, I do think that Shamia and Portia have pretty much made it abundantly clear that they have agreed to not be friends anymore. Okay. Um, I totally understand that for both parties. There's no need to force no friendships with anybody. And I think I'm gonna close this review out with this because I think I'm gonna close the review out with this because this was about friendships. So I'm gonna close it out with like a word of wisdom because there's some people out here that may be going through a friendship breakup, maybe longing for a friendship to still happen or whatever. I've had my share of friendships, and sometimes it's best to just agree that we are not friends. Sometimes it's best to agree that the friendship would never be the same. Sometimes it's best to just admit that we both made wrong moves in this relationship. Sometimes we be knowing that a friendship is over, and sometimes because we love these people, we're trying to keep them with us. Like we really want them to be with us because they're all that we know, or we've been friends with them for so long and we got so much history in the stories about us and all this other stuff. Like we want to keep them around and because we had so many great times with one another and things like that. But there are some friendships that are meant to last beyond the years, or there's some friendships that's um that are meant to last forever. But then there are some friendships that are only meant to be seasonal. There are some friendships that have expiration dates. There are some friendships that are here for a reason. And I do think that with Shamia and Portia's relationship, it was a seasonal situation that had lifetime expectations. And that's just what it is. Over the last year, I have realized that there are some friendships that I just don't want anymore, or there are some friendships where, as much as I want to be close to you, I can't be. There have been some friendships where I see how you're moving with me, and I love you. I'll jump a gate. I would jump a gate for you. I would do anything for you. But you have shown me that you won't do the same for me, and the feeling ain't mutual, and it's a one-sided situation. So when I see that I'm inviting you somewhere and you don't show up, but you don't invite me nowhere, or I'm checking in on you, but you not checking in on me, and I see that you give more light to people that to other friends, but don't give me the same light, or you don't really rock with me the same way that I rock with you, or you don't move with me the same way that I move with you. Once I realize that, it lets me know that I just need to focus my attention elsewhere and just focus on the people that have already shown me where I stand with them, and that's in their life. And sometimes that can be very, very hard to just know that a person really ain't your friend. Like, you don't want to think the worst out of people, or you don't want to think, badly about people. Like, you don't. But even with me, once I've realized that someone is not my friend, like I thought that they were my friend, I just chose to just disappear, break away, and keep living. And just give them the energy that they've given me, which was none at all. And I think that with Shamia and Portia, that's what has to happen. We just got to deal with the fact that we made mistakes in these friendships. We made mistakes. Like Shamia, you were hurt by Portia, and you wasn't honest about your resentment and your hurt by her. I declared the friendship dead in season 9. You feel what I'm saying? I declared it dead then. But you was steady holding on to this, and you really wanted to keep that. And so it's kind of like, what's really going on? What's really the tea here? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what's really going on? So it's just like you continue and y'all decided to move past it, but you really didn't move past it. And I think that's what it is. You moved past it, but you didn't. That's just what it is. Once season 9 happened, that should have been the end of the road right there. But that's what happens when we overstay our welcome in people's lives. At the tender age of 37, I refuse to allow myself to be played with when it comes down to friendships. I know how good of a friend I am, and I'm just growing into the place where I'm not expecting me out of other individuals. Because that's where you fuck up at, expecting yourself out of other individuals. You feel what I'm saying? Like for me, that's where you fuck up at, and that's where you go wrong at. You should never expect yourself out of other people. Be you. Be yourself. Do you. Keep being the person that you are, but don't expect everybody else to be the same person as you. Because that's where you go wrong at, and that's where it gets all the way fucked up at. So that is where I stand with it. Shami and Portia are done. The friendship is over. I don't think that there is no repair for that, and I'm honestly fine with it not being no repair. Let's stop faking it. Let's just agree to disagree. Let's say we're no longer friends, and that's okay. Now that's it. That's all. That's the close to this reunion in this season. Now, before we get up out of here, I kind of want to go in Discord for a quick chat. Now, this other stuff, I kind of want to go in Discord for a quick chat, but I don't know. I think I am though. Um, Need to let my phone charge though, cause my phone is in the red, honey. It's on 12%. Okay. That's the first thing. Second thing is, but what was I gonna say? Brandon's birthday is in about 2 hours. So happy birthday to Brandon. Shout out to you, Brandon. What you mean no more chasing? What you mean no more chasing? Shout out to Brandon. Happy birthday to Brandon, of course. The CNATL, we're still filming. I think that we are into the 6th episode. And baby, the mess is messing, honey. It is what it is. Um, Hold on. But yes, the mess is messing on the CNATL. What else is going on? As far as the chasing panel, I've explained this 100 times already. The only reason why we haven't done the chasing panel is because Chasing LA has been late. Every day, every week it's been late. And I can't get nobody to do no panel on no Friday night. I can't. So now I have to figure out how are we going to do this panel, because if they're going to be late all the time, then the panel is going to be non-existent until the next show comes on. So I'm right now trying to figure it out. So no disrespect, because I'm tired of explaining this, but that is the reason why we haven't done a chasing panel, is because of the fact that the show has been late. That is the only reason why we haven't done the panel. The only reason. And not to mention, I have other things to cover besides chasing, and my platform is not a web reality platform, so it's not like I can get up here and miss Thursday but then come back Friday and Saturday and Sunday and do a chasing panel. I don't have the luxury to do that, because that ain't all my channel focuses on. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I can't do that. So and that's why when people be talking about Scotty, but that's not all my channel focuses on. So that's the reason why the chasing panel is in limbo right now. Because if I could do it, then you know what I mean. But I can't right now. So we're trying to get it figured out. That's all I'm saying. We're trying to get it all figured out at this moment. Um, but with the Housewives being done, and then then the Whether You Like It or Not panel is about to end on Monday, we may have somewhere to put it. For the time being. So say for instance, if chasing comes on Friday instead of Thursday, maybe we could come together on a Monday and do it. It really just depends on what everybody wants to do, but that's the only reason why we have not done chasing LA. I mean the chasing panel over the last couple of weeks. That's the reason why. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I think the Jail Slayer and Brandon's birthday is coming up. So shout out to you guys. Love you guys. And I'm out of here. If you have the Discord link, go ahead and head over there so we can chat a bit or whatever. And what else is going on? Also, be on the lookout for not Brandon, what that is his real name. Bando's new video, the Nasty Remix, which I'm in the video, and it'll be coming out in about 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, yes. Be on the lookout for that. Okay, I'm pretty sure that when that video does come out, all you motherfuckers gonna be in there to watch me twerk, well, try to twerk and all this other shit. Yeah, y'all will be seeing me in a different way. Bye, y'all. Talk to you guys on the next video. T's going live next, and I'll probably see you guys over there too as my phone charges up. Okay. Bye, y'all. See y'all later.